Hello, hello! Today's star of the show, a folder camera, and I think a little bit underrated and underestimated folder. This is the Minox ML folding camera. It's a small film, 35 millimeter camera. With some interesting features. This type of camera has a lot of varieties, and I will place a link in the description of this video where all the different models that they made in this kind of housing and concept is registered, so you can see what the differences are between the several types that have been built by Minox over the past, I think from the first until the last was in a period about 10-15 years. This little one is from late 1970, early 1980, and this is the Minox 35 ML. Now let's have a little look at this camera. I've put a film in it. I usually take this camera with me just if I go out, and you never know what kind of picture opportunities you encounter. The thing I like about this camera is, first of all, I've taken a lot of pictures with it, and the quality of the images is very, very good. It's a 4-element lens. It's a f2.8 lens, 35 millimeters, and it's a very bright lens, pretty fast, and it makes very nice contrasted pictures. Now there are different ways, different features on every Minox camera. Let's start over here on the top. Here on the top we have a correction for the backlight, if you want it, 2 stops. You can engage it and disengage it. Here, this is the self-timer on the back. So this camera also has a self-timer, and this little knob is the battery check, which gives a signal inside the viewfinder. Inside the viewfinder you will find a red LED under different shutter speeds, under a gray marked area, and under the letter P. Now let us first start with the letter P. On the lens you can see you can adjust 2 things, of course. First of all is the distance. I'll put it like this, the distance. And second, there is here the aperture ring. On the aperture ring there is a letter P. If I put it in position P, the camera will decide what aperture and what shutter speed is being used. So really a kind of snapshot position. And to make life even more easy, to make it for snapshots, there is a little red marking here on top of the lens. You see 2 points. If, for instance, in this case, I put the right arrow, so it's mostly on this side, red arrow on infinity, then I can see that on the left it is between 5 and 10. So what you can assume in this position is that in position P, everything between 7 meters and infinity will be sharp. So if you are in an environment where you do not need an infinity, but the maximum distance is, for instance, 5 meters you want to have sharp, you replace this one, put 5 up here at that position, and then you see that you have everything between around 2 meters and 80 centimeters and 5 meters will be sharp. This is in the P position. So if you walk through a city and you want to do some snapshots of the city, the best way to put it is like this. Grossly, everything between 5 meters and infinity will be sharp, and you just advance the shutter like this. You do it twice and then it's advanced. This is the shutter release button. All different types have different colors. This one, the ML, has orange, and you can see here that it's cocked, that it's ready to fire. Well, and then you press it, and then it's released now automatically, by the way, because I have it put it on P. I couldn't see, but I can see through the viewfinder if it was under a too low shutter speed or not, because in the viewfinder you can see, if you use the letter P, you see a red LED under the P, but if the shutter speed is too slow, there is a LED next to the P which lights up, and that means that the shutter speed is too low and that you need a tripod to do it. Now, that is P. If you disengage P and you switch it to a aperture setting of, let's say, what's this, 11, then the camera will choose, depending on how much light there is, the shutter speed combined with, in this case, aperture 11. So it's aperture priority. So this camera has two positions: fully automatic, so the camera chooses shutter speed and aperture, and aperture priority. Now, on aperture priority, they also made a little scale on top of the lens where you can see it. Now, if I say, okay, you know, it's a very sunny environment, it's very sunny today, and I see, let's see, I put infinity. Where infinity? Where is the aperture 11? And then I see that everything between, well, that's very good, between 1 meter and infinity will be sharp. So if you have here, well, you know how it works. You know, it's if you have aperture 8, then everything will be sharp from, well, let's see, here we have 8, and there is, it's about 2.5 meters. 2.5 meters, and the infinity, everything will be sharp. The letters here are pretty small, so if you have reading glasses like I have, it's a little bit fiddly to read, but it is very handy. You know, normally zone focusing is people find it hard to zone focus, but with this, you know, simple tools on top of it. And if there's, well, from medium light to very sunny, you have aperture 8 set, then, you know, you can just make your pictures, and everything between 2.5 meter and infinity, like you can see here, will be sharp, will be in focus. So and that is essentially zone focusing. The difficulty with the zone focusing is very close up with the aperture wide open. Then you need to estimate the distance very, very carefully. Now, what do we have more here? Well, here, of course, the rewind spool. On top of this camera, on bottom of this camera, here you can set the ASA or DIN for the film you have put in the camera. I have a 100 ASA DIN 21 film in it. And if you want to rewind the film, you have to press this button, and by pulling this way, you open the back, and then you can take out the film. Now, look at this. This is all this camera is, and it has a dedicated hot shoe on top of it. Minox also makes little flashes, especially for these camera. It's also a small unit with a reasonable capacity, and you know, it's just with the flash as well, it's an ideal set, and then you can easily use it for indoor photography when there's not much light or when you have a slow speed film. The dedicated flashes are super, and they give also a signal into the viewfinder when the flash is ready. Film counter is here on the right, and all in all, you know, it is a very, very extremely practical camera. Look, this is the size. It slips into your pocket, into your bag, and the lens is, well, more than average. It's better than average, and I've also had a Rollei 35, and this lens gives me sharper pictures and pictures with more contrast. So you know, it's for me it's not a brain breaker, and this camera is superior to the Rollei, except for maybe the building quality. There's always an issue with the Minox cameras. I think they are more vulnerable. Lots of plastic. I don't think you should drop them on the floor, but I dropped a Rollei 35 once on the floor and it was broken also. So a little bit care with it. It's not that they're super fragile or something, because I put this thing in my pocket, and you know, I carry it around everywhere. Now about the prices, this ML, because of the two possibilities, is, I think, well, besides the Jubilee special editions, but judging from the standard versions, this is the most expensive one. You pay around 60 euros for 70 euros for a good one. I think that is a little hype, and I think they will go down again. If you go for another version like the Minox 35 EL, that is a camera that doesn't have the program function, but for the rest it's, well, basically almost the same. The way you can set the aperture, and the way it communicates the shutter speed, it's all very, very similar. And the EL cost about 20 to 25 to 30 euros. You can get them. So these cameras are very, very cheap, and in fact they're so cheap that I've ordered another one, because I sometimes think, okay, it would be nice if I had a 400 ASA film in here, or a black and white film in here. So I buy another one to put in another film, and I can easily take two of these with me in a bag or in my pocket. So yes, it is a for me it's a stunning little piece of technique. Beautiful made. It's, well, I told you they're fragile, but look at it. It is 45 years old, and we do not have to discuss the quality of build of something that is functioning for 45 years and still going. Take this as an option when you look for a small folder with a very decent lens. A folder you can put in your pocket, a folder that has a light meter in it. Basically, you don't need anything else to bring. Well, that was good. You don't bring anything else. No light meter. Really, this is. I even read somewhere, I don't know if it's true, but I even read somewhere that Andy Warhol always had a little Minox with him in his pocket. So, you know, I've seen a lot of the pictures made with a Leica or God knows what kind of expensive material, and I really, really honestly don't see any difference in quality with my pictures. It's not that I'm a very good photographer, but you know, most influence on the quality of the picture has the photographer, him or herself. And what you need is a reliable shutter speed and a good lens, and these provide both of them. So with this little camera you can make really, really good pictures. It's far better than a holiday snapshot camera. It is beyond that. It's really very nice camera to use. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please set them below. I will, in the description, put a link to the overview of all the models that were made of this camera. You can also look up in that overview what flash was suitable for this one. If you have additional questions, please ask. Thank you very much.